Hi, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Bree.
We're the PR team
behind the Theatre Downstream.
For our 6th season, we wanted to get to know the people behind the characters. We wanted to get real. Our first 2 Frankenstein cast interviews were recorded this weekend. So, while we wait for those to be edited and released, we wanted to share a surprise bonus episode. In July, TTD alumni Frankie Taylor stopped by the library studio. I first met Frankie back in 2013 at an audition camp for the best Christmas pageant ever. I had the privilege of serving as the acting coach during his time with the Henry County High School's theater department, where he held multiple leads and supporting characters under the direction of Russell Cooper and Jill Barnes-Moore. Frankie was also a part of the early days of TTD, working as a stagehand in our very first show, Moon Over Buffalo, and appearing on stage for us in both of our holiday homecoming shows, and as LeFou in Beauty and the Beast. His last appearance on our stage was in a wall portrait as one of Truvy's sons in Steel Magnolias. He has since gone on to Asbury University and will graduate in the spring. I'm really glad we got this opportunity to talk at this moment in time, right before he makes his way out into the world. To do great things, I have no doubt. The following is a conversation between people who have known each other for a very long time. It touches on dreams, goals, regrets, humor, and more about Area 51. It also contains lots and lots of laughter. Welcome.
Thanks.
Don't sound so enthusiastic. What is your name?
My name is Frankie Taylor.
Are you going by Frankie or Frank?
I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I've noticed that people talking to me will usually say Frank, but talking about me, they'll normally say Frankie.
So you're going to talk about yourself before other people talk about you?
Yeah, that's how I've been doing it.
Frankie, or it could be people who grew up with you call you Frankie.
Yeah.
And
I don't care. I don't have a preference. I think Frank sounds older.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
I don't want to call him Frank for the purposes of...
It sounds older.
No, because of the show.
Oh, that's true. That's true. The show that...
Oh, yeah.
We're recording this before it opens, but by the time this airs, people will... Again, if you guys hear anything, my cats are in here. It's their world. We just live in it. By the time this airs, everyone will have a very negative association with the name Frank.
Yeah, my name's Austin.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I know a Frank, and he's really nice, so...
Well, it's funny because you sent me that script.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is she trying to say something?
No, not at all. And I thought about it after I sent it to him. I was like, ooh, I'm sorry.
Read through this and tell me what you think. Well, I think that you're a meanie head.
I think Frank is an amazing name. He's a great guy.
He's misunderstood.
That is right. So tell me a little bit about you, Frankie. Frankie for this.
Well, I'm a theater student. I'm studying in the craft at Asbury University, going into my senior year. Plan after I graduate is to go to Chicago and do theater in Chicago. Henry County, born and raised, 21 years young.
21? Are you already 21?
I am 21.
When did you turn 21?
In December.
Oh my goodness.
On my birthday.
I missed it. 21 years from your birth. You turned 21.
Yeah,
so
that's me.
what are you going to do in Chicago? Are you going to try out for Second City?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing.
Excellent.
I went, this past spring break, I went up to Chicago and got to see some shows, and it was just incredible to see like improv done correctly, because I do improv at Asbury.
Is it done incorrectly?
I do a pretty good job, I'd like to
Okay.
think, but there's a lot of people that we have that they just don't get it.
What do they do wrong?
It's a lot of just really trying to be funny, and that's just so rarely funny.
You need to take yourself very seriously to be funny.
Yes, and they go and they're like, I'm just like, oh no.
In the play that we just did, by the time this airs, I'm going to refer to it in the past tense. Maybe. I'll keep switching, I'm sure. But in the play we just did, they have a section where they try to figure out how to deal with the situation by saying, we're going to play yes and. So one of the characters says, I learned in my improv group that somebody says something, the other person says yes and then they add on to it. Is that really what happens in improv?
That's the general idea. I mean, at a base level, that's what you need to know. You can like play around with that later, like when you've gotten pretty good at it. But if you like go into there with this idea that I can kind of shut down whatever I don't want to do, and then it just becomes chaos and messy so fast, because the whole idea of improv is building. And then if you're like, no,
Yeah.
it's like everything I just built's gone.
Yeah, it just stopped.
Because I have a buddy who consistently does improv with us, and it's one of those things where it's like, they're being chased by a T-Rex. And he goes, no, that's not a T-Rex. That's a butterfly. And then we go,
Well, you just shot that down. How do you kill a T-Rex? With a butterfly.
So, I don't know. The basic idea is yes and.
So why do you let that guy keep doing improv with you?
Oh, I'm not in charge.
Oh.
If I was in charge, he wouldn't do it.
He's out.
The show would be just me.
I hope he doesn't hear this. He may know.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, I don't mean that. I am in charge of, I do direct a sketch comedy show, and we do improv between sketches. And so I do get to pick who's in that, and I don't pick people that annoy me.
Excellent. That's good about being boss. Do you put that out? Is that something that we could all see?
Yeah, beyond just showing up, we also record it.
That's what I mean. And where can they watch it?
That's a great question. You can't. Asbury doesn't let us publish it.
Why?
Because we push the envelope, and they don't want their name associated with it.
Oh, because you're a Christian school?
Right. And it's not racy in that, we don't... It's all Asbury approved. Like, I have to run all our jokes through a faculty advisor.
Yeah.
And so they all get approved. It's just slightly more than what you would normally be able to get away with.
Give me an example.
We had we do Weekend Update, like on Saturday Night Live. We had a professor one year, he got fired for having some racy tweets. Oh. And so I wrote this joke for Weekend Update. It was right after Highbridge, which is a big film festival we have. And they did this segment called Roast the Host, where you tweet insults at the host, and then they read them live in front of the audience, and it's really funny.
They do that on The Tonight Show, right?
Yeah, and yeah. And so I wrote this joke that was like, at Highbridge this past year, they opened up a new segment called Roast the Host. We were able to tweet insults to the host of Highbridge. A segment that Dr. Anderson took a little too seriously. I mean, it was approved. It's all in fun. But, it's like Asbury's like, we don't want you to talk about professors that we've just had to fire because they're saying bad things online. Oh. But no cursing or anything like that.
Just a little edgy.
Yeah, just a little edgy.
Do you like improv?
I adore improv. I love it so much. I did the Complete Works of William Shakespeare abridged. And so there's a little wiggle room to improv a little in that show. It's pretty open. And we had this lady come, and she loved the show. And she was like, hey, do you three guys like...
travel?
Yeah. And we're like, yeah, we do. We do whatever you want us to do. And so she was like, if you would like, we'd like for you guys to like write and do a show for our youth retreat thing in North Carolina. And so,
is that why you went to North Carolina?
Yes, that was one of the things. I went for that and for KCACTF. We went and we did half sketches, half improv. And like, I've deeply fell in love with improv more so there. Yeah. Because it's one of those things when you do it at Asbury or for people and things will get a laugh. And you're like, did they laugh because that was funny, or did they laugh because it's Frank being silly on stage?
I see, because they know you.
Yeah. And so when you get in front of just a complete... strangers and you're doing stuff and they're eating it up, like that's the best feeling in the world. Do
you like it more than scripted?
Yeah, for sure. I love being able to... I like playing with the audience. I think that's my favorite thing in the entire world. And there's just so much more opportunity to do that with improv.
That's cool. So what is your day job?
Currently, I work for student development at Asbury University.
And what is that?
Boring.
Keeping you away from the Theatre Downstream.
Yeah. No, it's... So I do a lot of data entry and...
Oh, that is boring.
Yeah, like all the end of the year surveys, I got to like type in everyone's answers and then analyze it and send it to the departments that correspond with it. And
so is there any crazy survey answers?
No, I was like so hoping there would be.
Yeah.
And like there's so many opportunities where it's like just so open-ended of like, just name something you don't like about Asbury. Yeah. Just something.
But they're all like, line.
We love Asbury, greatest community of all time. And I'm like,
that's boring.
Come on, give me something.
How long have you been doing this?
Not long, a couple months.
Well, what'd you do before then? You were an RA?
No, I was a TAG coordinator.
What's that?
So TAG is at Asbury, it stands for Transition and Guidance.
Okay.
Why does the A get its own thing? Because
why not? To make a tag.
Cool. So that's like freshman orientation stuff. We hire 44 sophomores to like lead the freshmen and whatever. And so I did that my sophomore year, and then they really liked me and gave me a promotion to be the head of that program. And I did that last year, but you can't do that as a senior.
Why?
I don't know. I wish I knew. freaking loved that job. That was my favorite job.
I wonder if they could make an exception, or maybe you can make them change their minds.
I've already hired my replacement.
Ah, nuts.
Do you know Andrew Coombs? Tara Lynn's fiance?
Yes.
He's my replacement.
Okay.
So I've already hired him. But I will be an RA next year just because I needed something to do.
Of course, this is not your dream job, the data entry. What is your dream job?
SNL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the dream. That's basically the whole reason I'm wanting to even do Second City is just like, that's the first step, you know?
You are a professing Christian, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
How do you think you will handle SNL life? Do you think it'll be an issue?
I don't think it'll be an issue. I don't think so. The way I've always kind of handled comedy and faith is that I don't censor myself at all, just in general. And I just think that in anything that brings laughter and joy it's too good to censor. And so if I think something's gonna make someone laugh, I'll probably just say it regardless. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not gonna say anything that goes against God. You know,
Right,
that's where you draw the line. But
right.
no, I don't foresee it being an issue. I've been making people laugh for 21 years and
Wow,
loving
that's
Jesus
impressive.
since the day I was
Immediately.
born. I came out of the womb with a little
Red nose on? Yeah.
Yeah.
They started laughing. They're like, this guy.
Hey.
So, do you want me to ask it or do you want me to tell you and then you ask it?
What is it?
I was going to ask him if he remembers what made him want to do SNL. Was there a specific
Oh, sure. Yeah.
sketch?
I think we can hear you through this, can't we? Or no?
Because, I think so. I don't know. Because SNL was always one of my, I want to do that. And I can tell you, it was one of the sketches, you know the ones that they do, every so often, where it's some ridiculous song, and they're like, I've never heard that song in my life, and then everyone ends up singing along.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, I
So,
want this.
For you guys are SNL age. For me, now I am younger than when this came out, so I saw reruns. But what made me want to do sketch variety shows was the Carol Burnett show. So that would be my ultimate. Like, if you could tell me what is your ultimate goal for TTD, what would you love to do? I would love to have a weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it needs to be, sketch show where you had this cast of people. So this is your people, and then you could have rotating guest stars.
Yeah.
Where they would have sketches. I know. It makes me breathe happily too.
That would be
I
incredible.
would absolutely do that.
Yeah, that would be. I've wanted to do that, which is why the first couple holiday homecomings were sketch
Yeah.
style, because that's what I want to do.
You could make Frankie come home if you did that.
Frankie, will you come home, Frankie? He could be one of our guest stars because he will be off season.
I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but more than likely I will be here next summer.
You keep saying that.
Yeah, but I'll be graduated at this point.
Yeah, but then you're going to be off at Second City.
Not yet. I have to raise funds before I can go to Chicago. I am Baroque.
College.
If it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Ew. Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you. Very good, LeFou.
I didn't answer her question yet.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and answer Bree's question. Bree's question, if you did not hear it, was what made him want to do SNL? Is there a particular sketch?
Absolutely motivational speaker, Chris Farley.
Oh, really?
Farley, that's my man.
Did you see Adam Sandler's tribute song to him?
Yeah, only 1,000,000 times, and I
Yeah.
cry every time.
It's
I'm
amazing.
not a crier. I do not cry. I cry every time I watch that.
Yeah.
Chills. Literal chills.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can remember Farley died before I was born. Barely.
What?
Barely.
Are you kidding?
This is a fun fact. Farley's been my inspiration, my idol for as long as I can remember. And I found out last year that his funeral was my birthday.
No.
December 23rd, 1997 is the day that his body went into the earth.
And you came into the earth. I think that's happened. There was
Poetic.
I think now I'm talking out of my head here, but I think that happened with a couple of the people that I ended up admiring, Hitchcock being one. I think he died in 1980 and I was born in 1980. And I think there's one other person, not at the same day like yours was, but I did not realize he had been gone that long.
Yeah, 21 years.
Wow. So you weren't even around for Tommy Boy or any of that?
No, I was not. I've watched all of them naturally, but
Yeah.
way after.
So what makes you like him so much?
Oh my goodness, I love his just unbridled full-on commitment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like, I'm the fat guy and I'm going to be the funniest
Embrace it.
fat guy. Oh my goodness. Have you seen his document the I Am Chris Farley?
No.
You should check it out. It's so worth watching. It's absolutely incredible. I watch it.
Did he make it?
No.
Okay.
This was made about him 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay.
Or got to be longer than that because I was in high school. But
Okay.
it's absolutely incredible, and it talks about that, how he just always had this just full on commitment to everything and just wholeheartedly in. And
I think that's
love
important
that.
with acting because people sometimes are hesitant to commit to something because they think they'll look silly.
Yeah.
But what makes you look silly is not committing 100%.
Yeah.
If you just do 50%, it's just going to look ridiculous. But if you were all in, then the audience will be all in. Mm-hmm. You may have already answered this, but what did you want to be when you grew up? Has it always been actor?
No.
Okay.
No, it was not. I went through a lot of different phases. When I was little, I wanted to be a zoologist.
Aww.
I loved animals. I still love animals. Animals are super dope. I stand by that statement.
Yes.
And then I didn't intern. I job shadowed at the Louisville Zoo.
Oh.
And I had to scoop elephant poop.
Oh, that
for
cured you?
6 hours. And I go, I won't do this for a living. That's fine. I don't want to do that anymore. And then in high school, there's a period where I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Because I do like people a lot. But then I realized...
Unless they're bad at improv.
Yeah, and then we hate them.
Yeah.
No, but then I realized I don't like high school students. They annoy me. So I couldn't do that. And then I found Christ when I was a junior.
In high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was around that time where I go, dude, I could be a preacher.
Yeah.
And then God was like, you're not going to be a preacher.
Yeah.
And I go, that's okay, cool. And then, I mean, I was probably a senior in high school before I thought I could probably do this for a living.
I think you could.
Yeah. I didn't really believe it until my senior year. And I go, you know what? I think I could.
Was it a certain role?
Actually, it wasn't. I think it was just like this idea of going to college and being like, you have to choose something. Like, what do you see yourself doing? And I was like, well, I'm good at theater. It's kind of my only passion I have. And so I was like, could I see myself doing this? Yeah, I guess I could. And then a waiting game to get to college and be like, am I going to get parts in college? And like, that'll be my deciding factor.
And you did, right?
I did. Yeah. I was the first freshman at Asbury to get a lead role in like 15 years.
I believe it. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your high school experience.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I know about it, but tell me about it even though
specifically
as if
theater?
I don't know. Yeah.
It was, I had the greatest experience in high school with theater.
Yeah.
I got really lucky and I went to Henry County where we had no guys. And so it was just begging.
Well, you
please.
did, but just not in the theater program.
Yeah. We had no guys in the theater program. And so Cooper would just be like, please.
Please.
For my very first show, was I a freshman? Do you remember? Were you weren't in that. You don't remember.
Was it Best Christmas Pageant? It wasn't that, was it?
No, my very first one was Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, I saw that.
That was my very first show, and that was just because I was a stagehand for Wizard of Oz, and then Mr. Cooper was like, hey, come to my office. I kind of want to talk about something. I go, okay. And so I went to his office, and he was like, hey, you want to do the show? And I go, not really. He goes, here, just read these few lines. And I read it, and then he goes, good, you got the part. And I go, I don't even want to do this. And he was like, you're going to do it.
You're
going to do it. And I go, okay. And so I did it, and I fell in love with it. And then he did the same thing for, what was the next musical? Gabe.
I thought your first show was Oliver.
No.
That's what I thought too.
No, Oliver was my second show. That was my first musical.
Oh, that's right. I came to see Midsummer, and that was in the fall after we filmed the movie.
Yeah.
And then the next spring, they did Oliver.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't audition for Oliver either, and that was another one. Mr. Cooper goes, hey, will you? And I go, I don't want to do musicals. I can't sing. And he goes, oh, you're going to do it. And I did it anyway. And then the first one I auditioned for is where I met you, was Best Christmas Pageant, because you helped me with my audition.
I did. Was I good?
Yeah, I loved it.
I put him on the path, you guys.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You did. It was just because of you.
I'm sure it was.
No, I'd never auditioned for it. I was really nervous, and you were like, help me with it. I had this monologue. I don't even remember what it was. Something about my dad was a baked potato.
Oh, I think I remember that vaguely.
Yeah, there was an Oedipus complex joke in there.
Ooh.
And I didn't know what that meant.
Oh. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you go, do you know what that means? And I go,
Did my head tilt like that?
Yeah.
That face, you nailed it. That was her.
It's the head tilt, right? It's like,
So I started doing theater and fell in love with it, started auditioning, and I was lucky enough there wasn't a
guy.
big group of guys to choose
Racking
from, so I
all
got
the
to do a
leads.
lot of leads, and
Yeah.
I got to get pushed out of my comfort zone and do a lot of roles that I didn't think that I should have had, that Cooper kind of made me have. And
What was your favorite?
my favorite role was Trotter, Sergeant Trotter from Mousetrap.
I knew you were going to say that. That was an amazing part.
That's the most fun. There's a rumor, it's on the Hushty Hush, that they're going to do it at Asbury next year. I'm hoping that this rumor is not false, because
Yeah.
I would kill. Get it? Kill.
Spoiler.
I would kill to play Trotter again. That would be so good.
That would be good. Let me know if that does happen.
Yes.
Because I've been meaning to come see one of your shows.
Yeah. If I do one this year, I'll let you know. I might not do one. I don't know.
If they do that, you should do it.
Oh, if they do that, I'll drop everything to do that one.
Okay.
That one's such a fun show.
So do you have a favorite musical that you ended up doing?
That one's hard. I loved Pirates of Penzance, but I also loved Grease. I loved Grease for a very different reason. Just like I remember like auditioning for Zuko, definitely wanting to be Kaneki, and Cooper's like, just go up there and read for Danny. And I go, what? You mean Kaneki? And he goes, Danny. And I go, and so I went up there and I read, and then he goes, okay, let's switch people out. And he switched everyone out but me.
You.
And I go, I'm gonna be Danny. And I was mortified. I went home and I literally like cried.
Oh,
I went
no.
home. I was like, Mom, I cannot be a lead in a musical. Like I can't sing.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, you gotta trust him. You just gotta trust him.
Is that your mom?
Yeah. Frank, you just gotta trust him. But I loved it. It was so much fun. I still couldn't sing. I watched that. It's not a good show, but but it was fun.
But you were good at it.
No, it was. I love that. I think I'd say Pirates was my favorite.
I think so.
I had the most fun doing Pirates.
That was
I feel like so many people hated Pirates.
Why? What in the world?
Well, first of all,
There's a big cast. There's a lot of.
It was a big cast. There was a lot of drama.
Oh.
I've come to find that at least in college, there are two basic archetypes of theater people, and it's like there's a lot like me who are very passionate about it, and they just kind of want to learn, and they want feedback. And then there's the exact opposite where they're like, I've never been wrong. Every choice I've ever made has been very specific and very for a reason.
Now, how far do they get? I mean, do people
Never
like
very
them?
far. No one wants to cast them and stuff. But it's slim pickings.
Do they realize that after a while, or do they never?
No, very rarely. Do you see someone that ever switches? I know a girl who, she's a freshman this year. She's got a lot of natural talent. You can tell that she's never really like put a lot of effort into it. And she was like, she's dropping out of college. She goes, why do I need a degree in this? I'm like, the degree isn't the asset that you're going to get. They're not going to get, years down the road, they're not going to be like, oh, you're great for this role, but you didn't get a theater degree. Like,
right.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
But like the amount that I've learned and the amount I've grown from being at a theater program, insane.
Well, and it seems wasteful to go to 2 years or however long she went, and then you just wasted all that money.
You cannot afford to waste money at Asbury.
No.
You can't. It is darned near $40,000 a year to go there. I don't pay that much.
How in the world? Do you have scholarships? Or
Yes, I have scholarships.
How much do you have to pay?
Last year I was paid to go to school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, this year I'll pay $1,200 for the year.
That's great. And it's your last year.
Yes.
So, exiting college, how much do you think you'll owe?
I'll have like $10,000 in debt.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can take care of that.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, my roommate is not on any scholarships, and I go, how do you go to Asbury without any scholarships?
Student loans?
Massive student loans.
They'll never get out from under that.
I don't understand
Unless
it.
they play the lottery or...
I truly, I'm just like, dude, how does anyone do this? And he's an ed major.
You're not going to make any money.
Dude, you could be a teacher.
Yeah.
You could have done that. You could have gone to any school to do this, man, and you chose the most expensive.
Is it brand? Is it just he wanted to graduate from Asbury?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, that is rough.
Yep.
So do you have a dream role in theater?
I have always said, not always, my freshman year, I had to watch Frankenstein, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that role.
Yeah.
That would be just such a fun...
We're doing that, right?
Are you really?
Yes.
You're not.
We are.
You're lying to me.
I'm not lying to you. It's a radio show.
What?
I'm not kidding. We are getting ready to do... It's only going to be
Where's the script?
7 rehearsals.
What?
I've got the script. It's in your drawer. It's in the...
I had no idea about this.
Yeah.
Give me.
We are doing... It's a radio show. So we're going to do it where it's kind of like a staged reading.
I
Yeah.
read it. It's really good.
And there's Foley sounds. Did you see Annie?
Yeah.
It's like scene 1 of Act 2 of Annie, where they're at the NBC radio station, and they are reading from the script. Oh yeah, I gotta give that.
The
to her.
greatest show. So is this the...
That's it.
Oh my gosh. This is such... Have you seen the Benedict Cumberbatch?
Oh yes, I went to Tinseltown and saw it. I saw him as Frankenstein and Johnny as the monster.
Yeah.
But they would swap.
Yeah, I know. I saw the one I saw was he was the monster.
Benedict was?
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch was the monster. So good. Like, just an incredible, like, showcase of
And they both play
of
Sherlock.
talent. Yes! They're wildin'. They stay wildin'.
I read that. In
Oh, yeah,
one
you can
sitting,
read
like,
it.
super fast.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll read it tonight.
Yeah. Just go in the... I can't give it to you, but you can go in the living room and read
Well,
it.
I'm going to steal it, so.
It's mine anyways. You could have it
It's
back if you
literally
catch
got
me.
my name on it.
It does. Frankenstein. That's his name. Frank, the letter N. Stein is his last name. So that is your dream role, Frankenstein.
I would say so. I think that'd be a really fun one.
Woodford County did the full-on Frankenstein production a few years ago, and that was really, really good. Do you want to be the monster or the scientist?
Monster.
Okay. Yeah.
I also, low-key, dream role was also Gaston.
Really?
I would love to play Gaston. I wish I could sing better so I could play Gaston. That would be so
That's
fun.
character singing.
That's true, which I'm slightly better at.
Good. Well, maybe it'll
One
happen.
day.
I could see you
I'll
as
work
a
on it.
Gaston, but I could see you as Frankenstein, not the monster. I mean, I could see you as the monster.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to have to show you up.
That's right.
One day, I'm going to get cast in it. I'm just going to go, look at me now.
Look at me now, Ma.
He's gonna turn into the monster.
Do you have any other hobbies or hidden talents?
Hidden talent? No.
You do nothing else entertaining or interesting?
I eat, sleep, breathe, theater.
Oh my goodness, that's intense.
Hobbies. I love sports.
Do you play them?
I do. No one thinks that about me. You
Well,
look
I guess it's because theater.
Yeah, you look at me and you go, oh. Yeah, okay.
It's like people look at me and they go, you go camping, right? No.
But yeah, I love sports, playing and watching all of it, play video games. Wow, actually, I jokingly said I don't have any hobbies, and now I'm realizing I don't.
Okay. You do nothing. What makes acting so appealing to you? Why is it something that you say you eat, breathe, and live theater? Why is that? What is it?
I adore just being able to take people out of the mundaneness of their lives for even if it's just a fleeting moment. I think that's just such an incredible gift that God has given us, that we can do that for people. I think the story that comes to mind is I did the show Failure, a Love Story. It's a really weird show, but we did it, and it's a comedy in a sense. But we got this letter in the mail afterwards, and it was like, I laughed so hard watching this show that I completely forgot about my cancer.
Oh.
It gives me chills, like, still to this day. It's like, wow, like, that's such an incredible thing that you can do for someone. Just completely take them into a different world for 2 hours at a time. Like, that's awesome. Like, I'm in love with that. Like, that there's not a better feeling in the world than to be able to make people laugh, in my opinion. I'll say that my favorite show that I've ever done is The Complete Works of William Shakespeare Abridged.
Yeah.
You can just like look around and just see like a sea full of people just like not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Like just so
and this world is
wholeheartedly.
very careworn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I always, early on when I studied all of this and wanted to get into this kind of field, they said that even during the Great Depression, the thing that never suffered was the arts. Because people would save up their money to escape the way they were feeling. So the movies, theater, I mean, of course, attendance would go down, but it never stopped. Entertainment will never stop because people need it.
Yeah.
Tell me about your family.
My mom and dad are my biggest fans in the world, Pam and
Yes.
Tim. They've come to almost every show I've been in. They haven't come to all of them. They missed Wizard of Oz, which they say, you weren't in. You were just a stagehand.
Oh, you were just behind the scenes.
Yeah. It still counts, Bob. But they're my biggest fans. They're moving right now.
Where are they going?
They're moving to Newcastle.
Oh, so they were in Pleasureville. Now they're going.
Yeah.
I never knew where you lived in Pleasureville.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which house is
you
yours?
pass my house
I know I do.
all the time, I'm sure.
I know I do, and I have I think it's one of these.
One of the last ones on the left when you're going to the high school. In Pleasureville. My sister, Allison Miller, she's also one of my biggest supporters. She's been to every show, including Wizard of Oz.
Points for
She's been to them
Allison.
all. And she just had a baby. I'm a new uncle.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
It's the greatest thing in the entire world. It's so much fun because I can go and hold him and we're having a good time and he's
Then you leave
laughing
him.
and cute. And then he'll start to cry a little bit and I go, and now it's mom's turn. See you later.
Yeah. Bye.
And just get the heck
I'm gonna be
out.
the cool uncle.
Yeah. Very supportive family. They've, from day one, have
Yeah.
said you can make a living out of acting.
That's good. Not a lot of people have that kind of support in their families.
Yeah, no, I know so many people who their parents are like, get another degree in something else that's practical. Which mine made me get a second degree too, but
What's your second degree in?
media communications.
What does that mean? In real people terms.
So it's essentially a film degree.
Oh, cool. Okay.
essentially. Yeah, so basically, like my degree would be in front of the camera and then behind the camera. I'll have two. Because when I went to Asbury, it was marketed as, the theater department was marketed as cinematography performance. That's what my major's called. I quickly realized that's a sham, and that's not true. I don't act for camera. Very rarely.
Yeah, you're a big actor, right? Big.
Yeah.
Expressive.
Yes. To a fault.
That's okay. What do you think makes a good scene partner?
Just an ability to just kind of feed off of someone that's going to give. It's such a give and take. I've worked with people who they're either all give or all take, and there's no balance of that. And so there's nothing worse than being in the scene with someone and you're just giving it your all, and then they're just giving you blank, dead.
Fish eyes.
I'm waiting to talk.
Yeah, they don't
I will
listen,
talk
they wait
soon.
To talk.
Now I'm going to talk, and I'm like, oh.
What do you consider to be your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to the stage?
Strengths, I would say. Improv. Yeah, I'm very quick-witted, very quick on my feet. So, like, that really helps if someone can drops a line. Like, I'm pretty good about being able to, like, find a quick pickup that's not obvious.
So does that mean you also memorize well?
Yeah. It's always come pretty naturally. In college, I'm not sure I've ever worked on memorizing outside of rehearsals.
Really?
I don't think I have.
Oh, what a blessing.
I can't remember doing. No, in high school, I would go home every day and I'd read with my parents and I'd work it. But in college, I go to rehearsals and it's normally enough.
How do you memorize? Besides, so you're doing it sounds like for college you're doing it in the moment and blocking wise.
Yeah.
But when you were in school, you just read them?
Repeated it out loud. Just all day, I'd be playing video games. I'd just be going through my lines in chronological order.
Well, that is multitasking.
Yeah. That's how I always worked. It's just I'll go through my lines, and even now, my lines do kind of stay running through my head if I'm in a show pretty constantly.
So, what do you think your weaknesses are?
Everything else. No,
I'm a terrible actor, but I can memorize real well.
I've found that something I really avidly have to work towards, like we were talking about, is finding a connection with someone, like a beyond just like I'm acting like I have a connection with you. Right. And so much of it is just, I'm working on being more genuine on stage and not coming across as acting.
I like that. Natural. You're working on being natural.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of it comes from just building that connection with someone on stage and not just talking through you, but talking to you. I think that's probably my biggest weakness right now. And when I first came into college, my biggest weakness was that I was playing too big. And I've gotten a lot better about it, but I was so used to our proscenium stage with an audience for 350, and then at Asbury we have it in a black box theater where you're performing for like 50, if that.
That's more like film acting then.
Yeah, and so I remember my director mentor Jeff, like day one, was like, "Whoa, buddy, we're gonna have to tone that down like 4 notches."
Yeah,
and that was for 12 Angry Jurors where I'm sitting at a table.
Ooh.
And he still was like, way too much.
Wow.
Which I'd never gotten before.
Yeah, you
Cooper
always
said, he said, I dare you to try and get me to tell you to tone it down.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
But again, like you said, it's 2 completely different stages.
It's very different. That was such a learning curve. And we did that one in the round, which I'd never done before. And so it was just like a whole new experience.
Everywhere.
Yeah, those are probably my biggest, I'd say.
Well, tell me, what is your favorite stage show to watch?
To watch?
Yeah, or maybe not to watch, but that you have seen, that you weren't in, but you watched it.
Oh, I don't watch shows I'm not in. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Brian.
I really like the Glass Menagerie.
Yeah?
I saw that at Asbury's, directed by a student. I normally go into those with like really low expectations, but it was so good.
Good.
I really like Glass Menagerie. I think that's a fun story. It's a beautiful story. I wouldn't say fun. It's a beautiful story.
Okay. I don't think
which
maybe
translates
that
to fun.
Fun.
Wow, I had a great time.
That was fun.
I really like that one, and I really loved Mary Poppins.
TTD's Mary Poppins?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what was your favorite Mary Poppins?
What was your favorite Mary Poppins?
What was your favorite Mary Poppins? Ours. What was your favorite Theatre Downstream show? Mary?
That I wasn't in?
Well, you can do both.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
But if it has to specifically be one that I wasn't at, it's probably say Mary Poppins, because that is just a fun show.
It is fun, and she flew.
She flew.
What?
A queen in the sky.
Oh, man. Okay.
Do you ever go by ARB?
No.
Oh.
I mean, sometimes in cards and stuff.
I will now. I'm going to call you that.
All right, it's fine.
Also known as Mother Hen. Mother Hen or ARB? ARB. What's your middle name?
Megan.
Megan. AMRB.
Okay, what is the last thing you do before you go on stage? Or what's your pre-show routine?
Yeah, cry? No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
That's what I said. Cry and pray. Why am I doing this?
It depends on what I'm doing. When I did Macbeth.
I'll listen to him when I did Macbeth.
When I cursed myself for the rest of my life.
In the theater.
When I was in
You
the
will
theater.
never act again.
When I did Macbeth, what I would do before I'd go on stage is like I just had to like kind of jump around, and I had this buddy named McGee, and we'd go and we'd just shove each other, and we just like shove and just bang on each other's chests, and then we just go out, and then it was just such like a power like I'm ready. But I mean, yeah, I think it's different for depending on what role I'm doing. For Shakespeare, that one was a lot of fun. I jumped around, but not like so like. That was more just like the energy.
Improv one?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just changes.
Who do you look up to as an actor, director, writer, or whatever you want to say?
Actor, James McAvoy.
That's a good choice.
I think James McAvoy is probably the most talented actor alive right now.
Underrated?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like anytime anyone's talking about like the best actor, like no one says James McAvoy. But if it like Split, have you seen Split?
I haven't, but I saw the previews for it. It looked very scary and amazing.
So good. Like his acting ability, like because he plays different personalities, and like you can see he's like this personality, and then this one, like they physically look different.
Wow.
Like just the way he holds himself, and incredible.
It was beautiful.
Is it scary though? Would I be scared?
It's a thriller. I wouldn't consider it to be
blood?
a horror. Very little.
So.
Okay.
Very little at the
I can
very
try that
end.
then.
It's good. It's good if nothing else. Just
The
to
only
see
thing
the
I
acting.
didn't like about that one is how unrealistic the disorder got by the end.
Oh no, it's not a movie you watch for realism by any
Yeah.
means, but it's it's good. Do you have rapid?
I do have rapid-
You have different rapid fires,
I guess so. Yeah. So this is what we've been asking everybody on the podcast.
and so it's just like a real quick
yeah, just real quick. Whatever the first thing is that comes to your head.
flamingos. Ah, dang it.
I've already failed. What's your favorite meal?
Steak.
What's the most quotable movie?
Most quotable movie. Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. What's the best book you've ever? Oh, not ever read. Best book you've read lately?
Gasping for airtime. It's about Jay Moore.
What's that?
Jay Moore. He was an actor
I
and
know who
writer
that is.
for SNL.
Yes.
Gasping
yes.
for airtime. So good.
What was your favorite cartoon as a kid?
Ben 10.
What is that?
Ben 10.
What is Ben
He has a
10?
watch and he can turn into different aliens, and it's dope. Give it a look. It's so good.
This is when you guys realize I'm like old enough to be your mothers.
You are not.
My mother's your mother hens.
You are not.
If you could have any animal as a pet, not a dog or cat, what would it be?
My first thought was warthog, and I don't know why, but I'll stick with it. Warthog.
Okay.
I have Lion King on the mind today.
Yeah. Do you have any historical heroes?
Can I count Farley as historical
Yeah.
hero?
If they are no longer with us, they are
Yes.
historical.
Farley.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, Coke. Come on. Get that guy out of here.
If you could live in any decade, which one would you live in? Like with modern conveniences.
90s.
90s.
I love the style of the 90s. The best compliment I've gotten recently was like, you look like you're from 1998. And I go, thank you.
That's the end of the rapid fires on mine, and then I've got the 3 serious questions to end, so go with you.
If you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy?
Doritos.
Do you want me to
Okay.
answer too?
Yes.
Okay. First thing that came in my head was banana.
You have high taste.
I do.
Ashley's gonna hate this one. What color is your toothbrush?
Pink.
I have no idea.
Mine is
Love
pink
toothbrush.
because Dylan has a blue one, and I didn't also want to get a blue one, so I
Oh.
just got complete opposite. Dylan's my roommate, by the way.
Okay.
If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
I went to warthog again.
I just thought cat.
I think realistically walrus is because they're just big and lovable.
What is one of the things you would put on your bucket list?
Diving with sharks would be so dope.
Go to Paris.
With sharks?
Sure.
Who is your favorite superhero and why?
The Hulk, because he's dope. Seen Avengers? Come on now.
My favorite superhero. I don't know. I just kind of went blurt.
Carol Burnett.
Yeah, she's the superhero. Carol Burnett's my favorite superhero.
Who do you admire the most?
Carol
Burnett.
Burnett. Come on.
No, I want to say I admire Carol Burnett and I admire Bonnie Hunt.
What is your favorite summer activity?
What's summer?
Great. I like sitting out on the porch with the lights on and listening to a water fountain on the front porch and the cicadas, that sound they make. It's my favorite sound.
Swimming.
If a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be and who would play you?
I mean, it'd be a comedy.
Yeah,
that's,
me
that's
for
for sure. It would star John Mulaney.
Oh, that's a good choice. I would say it would be a comedy of errors and probably Kristen Wiig She seems to have my level of anxiety.
That is such a good casting.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Hawaii.
Well, I've already been to Paris on my bucket list, so I'm going to Italy this time.
Okay. Why?
Hawaii? It's just pretty. I don't know. I've never been.
Okay.
Architecture. History.
Oh, this one's what is your dream job?
Acting.
Writing, acting, doing what I'm doing but getting paid for it.
Oh.
Actually making money.
Are you a morning or night person?
Night.
Night. Dude, I can't even function before noon.
What's your favorite hobby?
Acting.
Nerds. Everything is theater. Every answer is theater.
Acting or basketball. You can take your pick if you want to better. I don't know. What do you want me to like?
Troy Bolton.
What do you want me to like? Yeah.
It's in the game, but my
Heart's in the song. Should I go for it?
What is one thing that annoys you the most?
Bad improv.
No, people who take things too seriously. Like anyone that gets offended because I'll make a joke and they're like, hey, inappropriate time to make a joke. I go, incorrect. There's never a time for that.
He says at his grandmother's funeral. What was the question?
What's something that annoys you the most?
Something that annoys me the most.
The clip art on Final Cut. That doesn't annoy you. That makes you very happy.
It does. Really badly. Let's see, what does annoy me? I would say hypocritical people annoy me. Yeah, people that post very biblical or forgiving things, and I'm like, you're totally not like that in real life.
What is one of your weird quirks?
I don't know.
I'm going to say I make weird faces because I just made a weird face when you said that. I tilt my head. I tilt my head when I'm listening, and I know I'm listening really hard because my head almost gets to my shoulder. I'll notice that in church if I'm listening. It's like,
Cool, you've never listened to a word I've ever said.
no.
What?
That's like, cool,
Who's
you've never
talking?
listened to a word of it. Oh. Alright.
She fell for it.
She did every
I
time.
it's not a weird quirk, but I think my biggest quirk is that I joke about everything gets turned into a joke. It's actually really
Humor
it's
as
an
a
issue.
defense
It is an
mechanism.
issue.
I have that
It's
too.
my biggest defense mechanism.
Yeah, I know that's something my girlfriend and I are working through.
Let's make a joke about that, honey.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
My name's Frank.
Anxious and depressed.
Oh my god!
You said first thing. It's first thing, right?
Stressy and depressy.
Stressy and depressy.
I don't know why that made me
Mother
uncomfortable,
hen,
but
a
it did.
fable. It made you uncomfortable?
Uncomfy.
Mother hen ARB. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Nobody.
Ashley. Because she didn't answer, I'd force her to switch lives with me.
He'd Freaky Friday me in a second. A hot second. Be like, man.
What is your favorite movie quote?
I would say mine is, I don't know, it's gotta be something from Hot Rod.
I've never seen that.
You need to.
Oh, you turned on me fast.
They say
I
he who
really
is
don't
resistant
know.
to change is
I-
destined to perish.
Something
Andy
from
Samberg is one of my
something from
favorite
Jurassic
actors.
Park, maybe. I don't know. That's an obvious
girl.
answer.
Clever girl.
Clever girl. That's cute. That can
Wore
be
that shirt
applicable.
today.
I did. It was tight. I needed out of it.
That's tight dog.
It was tight.
Did you say that?
No.
You never were a fan of that phrase? You didn't say that's tight dog?
No.
Oh.
Tight dog. I love this one. What's your favorite joke?
So Moth walks into a podiatrist's office. Do you remember this?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. So Moth walks into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist says, "Moth, what's the problem?" And the Moth says, "Well, where do I begin?" He said, I'm employed down at Old Man Alitovich's office down the street, and the only thing that brings him joy is to see me in pain. Every day I work, and he just works me like a dog, day in, day in. I hate him. And then I go home, and I fall asleep with this lady on my arm. This old lady, I don't even recognize her anymore. This old lady I used to love, and my daughter, Alexandria, she died in the cold of last year. She's a moth. Moths don't do too well in the cold. She passed away in the cold. And the podiatrist says, well, that sounds pretty rough. And he goes, yeah, doc, and that's not even the worst part. He says, my son, Gregorio, he says, I no longer love him.
Oh, no.
I know. And I see his face, and I see a cowardice. The same cowardice I see when I catch a glimpse of my own reflection in the mirror. Said, sometimes I think I should just end it all. Sometimes I feel like I'm a spider, even though I'm a moth. I feel like I'm a spider just dangling over an everlasting flame. Not feeling too good, doc. And the podiatrist says, well, Moth, that sounds pretty bad, but you need a therapist. I'm a podiatrist. Why did you come here? And the Moth says, because the light was on.
Oh, wow. That was a terrible joke.
That was so bad.
It's my favorite joke of all time. Norm Macdonald.
Oh, that's why you delivered it that way. That's funny. I have no idea.
How are you going to follow it up with that?
I can't.
I have a new recent favorite. I saw it on Facebook the other night, and it was so funny that I laughed to myself. I was the only one in the house, and I was cracking up laughing. What do you call a magic dog?
What?
A labracadabrador.
I saw that.
It's so great.
The last thing that made me laugh was that silly meme.
Last thing that made me laugh.
That silly Frodo Baggins meme. Where they said, I didn't even know what this whole catastrophe was until last night. And then it says, after I watched 300,000 people get melted by the government for storming Area 51, it's a picture of Frodo. All right, keep your secrets.
It's so funny. Hold on, I have it.
His face and that caption is just like, all right.
Keep it. I love that so. All right, keep it.
It's after you watch 300,000 people get melted. And just the smugness, like, all right, keep your secrets.
Well played, government.
Oh, golly.
Wow, this is a really good segue. What would you do on Mars for fun?
Turn around and come home.
Theater.
Theater. He's gonna...
The first alien improv class.
Marvin the Martian. First enrollee.
If you could get yourself anything, what would you get? An alien?
That's your answer? You'd get yourself an alien?
A Ford Raptor.
Whoa.
It's a car, not the animal.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah, Ford Raptor.
Her too, except hers has legs.
Yeah, and I call him Ford.
Aw.
It's my Raptor Ford.
This is my Ford Raptor. This is my Raptor Ford.
Yes.
What's your favorite joke? That one.
The one we just created.
Where would you go if you were invisible? The men's room.
No.
I was gonna say that,
No.
but then I censored myself. I shouldn't. I was gonna say the men's room.
No.
I go, Frank, you can go in there anyway. Don't waste this.
What are you doing?
Area 51.
There you go.
What is one thing you own you wish you didn't?
Debt.
That's a good answer. One thing I own that I wish I didn't. Everything I own, I'm glad I own, or else I would have gotten rid of it.
And that's the team. This is the one that me and you were like, why would you ask that? Do you have a song that reminds you of a relationship? If so, what song?
Why would you say that? Why would you share that?
It could be nice. It could be a nice thing.
Okay, make it nice. Go.
That reminds me of a relationship. Share your address. It reminds me of my girlfriend. I want to marry her.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
See?
What's that Billy Joel song, For the Longest Time?
For the longest time.
Yeah, that one. That one.
What's the Billy Joel song that goes for the longest time?
That's one.
If you were famous, what would you be famous for?
Theater.
Theater.
Nerds.
Acting, I guess I should say.
What is the worst job you could have?
Shoveling elephant poop.
I'm going to say waving the sign on the corner. Little Caesar's Pizza Man.
I got way deeper than that, and it's starting. I'm like questioning my sanity because I was like hospice.
We're like surface level.
What is your favorite TV channel?
Netflix. I don't watch TV.
Wave 3. It's the only one that comes in out
You know,
here.
that is so, you do not get any TV.
Well, you
over here.
don't.
Ashley's like, will you come watch my house? And I'm like, thank goodness they have all the movies in the world. Thank goodness they have a Blockbuster downstairs.
We have better internet now.
Oh, do you?
Finally.
Yeah, they do.
I'll watch your house.
Thanks.
What is the thing you're most afraid of?
Spiders.
Spiders?
Spiders. Oh.
She made fun of me because I made her kill a spider the other
I
day.
didn't make fun of you. I just was disappointed.
Oh, that was worse. I'd rather you be mad at me.
Yeah. I was just disappointed. Now, I have a fear of failure, sure, rejection,
Yeah.
the concept of eternity. It kind of freaks me out a little bit.
What's a surface level fear that you have?
Oh, spiders.
Dark. The dark.
You afraid of the dark?
I can't see.
And you just yelled at me because I'm afraid of spiders?
Well, I can see a spider. I don't know what's coming at me in the
Can't
dark.
see it in the dark.
Nope.
What is the most interesting thing that you have in your purse or your wallet?
Most interesting thing? I got a haircut one time, and the lady gave me a haircut, gave me her cell phone number, and I have it in my wallet, and that was 3 years ago.
Was she cute?
No.
Oh.
She was probably like 34, and at this point, I was like 19 maybe. And I was just like, this is so weird. But I thought it was a funny story, so I kept her number. Still in my wallet.
Okay. And it wasn't for like future haircuts.
No. She like gave it with like a wink and was like, call me sometime.
And you said nope.
I go, I am 19.
I am just a boy.
I'm a toddler. What is the strangest thing in my purse? It depends.
Most interesting thing.
Most interesting thing? I have a habit rabbit in my purse that Jill gave me.
What's a
You have
habit
a
rabbit?
screaming alpaca.
I do have a screaming alpaca.
I don't
That
know
is
what
the most
either of these
interesting.
things are.
It's my friend gave me this keychain, and sometimes I'll hit it accidentally, and you just hear this brrr from the keychain. I'm convinced like one day I'm gonna get mugged, and I'm gonna hit this, and he's gonna be like, "Whoa!" and then run off.
With the little flashlight. Stay back.
Stay back. My nose lights up.
If you could get a yacht, what would you call it?
Yahtzee just keeps coming into my head, so.
I thought of Brad.
This is my yacht, Brad.
It sounds like a yacht name, doesn't
It
it?
reminds me of that. There's a commercial. I think it's like a State Farm commercial. It's like, you loved Brad. And then you totaled him.
Yes, and then you do your happy dance.
What is your lifelong dream?
To be on SNL, make people laugh. I don't know.
To get paid doing what I love. For doing what I love.
Have you ever tried to do something you knew you'd be really bad at? And what was it?
Dancing.
Oh, that's a good answer. Dancing, singing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of sports. I'm terrible at soccer, but anytime I see someone kicking a soccer ball, I'm like, yeah, I'll play.
And they all say, no, it's
Knowing
okay.
darn good and well that no one wants me to, I'm going to do it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you?
10.
Oh, 3.
2 types of people. Hey, it's a 10, baby.
I am not the Zuko of this duo.
What is the best advantage to being really tall?
I wouldn't know.
You can put the Christmas star on top of the tree.
I'll ask someone one day.
Like the Bumbles. You're tall.
I am
You are
of
tall.
average height. My
What are
girlfriend, I'm 5'10".
Oh, well, you're taller than me, so you're tall.
Hey, my girlfriend's, she got 2 sisters. Both of them are taller than me. By, like so much. And
How
they're
tall
younger.
is she?
My girlfriend? She's like 5'8".
There you go. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I got lucky.
How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
I go into work at 8. I wake up at 7:50.
Whatever.
True story.
Whatever.
Wake up at 7:50.
Being a girl is the worst. It's like an hour and a half.
No, I couldn't do that. I would just be an ugly girl.
Well, it's not just that doesn't count. That's like I wake up, I have to go take care of the animals, I have to eat my breakfast.
That is true. That is true. When I live at the
When you live the Ashley life.
yeah, when I live Ashley's life, I have to get up way before school so I can go feed the freaking chickens.
That's right.
Freaking chickens. What advice did you get that was the most rewarding?
When I was deciding between if I wanted to go to Asbury or Morehead State, I said, "Mom, I feel like God's really pulling me to Asbury, but I got a full ride to Morehead. What do I do? Why would I feel God pulling me one way but not the other? Whatever." And she said, "Honey, God doesn't always choose free."
But then you ended up, well, I guess you do have a little bit of debt, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Mine, the first thing, if you're going with the first thing that comes to your mind, when I was in high school, I had a teacher that wrote in my yearbook, add a little steel to your good qualities, your softness. Add some steel to your softness. Something like that. So I would say that.
Those were good. I don't have any.
No one's ever given you advice? Here, let me give you something.
Good advice.
God doesn't always choose free.
Add some steel. All right, so let's wrap this up, my friend.
Swag.
What is your best advice for other actors?
I don't know. There's a couple things you could say. One, don't worry about how you're going to look on stage like we were talking about. Just commit wholeheartedly to something and everything, and that's going to be your best thing. And 2, confidence is so much of acting. Go into every audition with this mentality of that this is your part. Like, you are good enough. If you think that you're not good at acting, then you're going to come across as not very good at acting.
Yeah.
So just confidence. And if you don't have it, fake it till you make it, because it's so important.
That's true. If you could tell the child version of yourself one thing, what would it be? So 10-year-old Frankie. What would you say?
Power through, it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a little kid, as the 10-year-old fat kid,
Yeah.
you just know that you get made fun of a lot, and that's about the extent of it. And so if it's like, hey, one day you're going to appreciate laughter far more than you do right now.
Is that part of why you like Chris Farley?
Love? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
If you knew you could not fail, what would you do
I would drop out of Asbury, and I would go to Second City right now.
right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
In general?
Yeah.
No.
I'm done.
Finally, someone
I don't have any answers for you.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Special thanks to Frankie Taylor. Our first Frankenstein interview will begin next week with Matt Adams, who plays the creature. Thank you to Eminence McDonald's for already signing up to co-sponsor that show. This episode of Getting Real was executive produced, edited, and written by me, Ashley Raymer-Brown.
It was produced and co-written by me, Bree Heightchew.
Music was provided by Final Cut Pro, and artwork was created by Ashley Raymer-Brown. That's me, and Bree Heightchew.
That's me.
Getting Real is a separate entity from the Theatre Downstream. The thoughts and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect the thoughts and opinions of the Theatre Downstream or the sponsors of their shows. Thanks for listening. But you haven't quit.
No.
Okay, good.
No, I do it too much.
No, not enough. The Theatre Downstream.
That's true. We were talking, you know how long it's been since I've done a Theatre Downstream show?
I do know how long it's been. It's been since Corning County.
Yes. That was a long time ago. That was like...
2015.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I'm not even functioning at full capacity.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna go see what's wrong with Scotty.
Scotty, how dare you interrupt me?
No, he may want to drink out of the sink.
Classic Scott.
Did you ever babysit when Scotty was here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It was like peak snot season. Because I can remember like he would sleep in the bed with me and
Yeah.
then he would sneeze and I go,
I know.
how dare you?
I know. Sometimes he'll like hit me and I'm like, it's warm.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Hate
He's
that.
doing a lot better. He just had another round of medicine, so he's off of it, so it's coming back now. I'm gonna have to contact them and say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like a good one.
Oh, that was right in our ears.
Will you keep that?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I can't find.
Okay.